Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's an absolute pleasure to be here and to see so many people that I know already and to meet others. And I'm particularly pleased to be invited by Linking Generations here today. And I'm very glad to see how a clear, concise focus on bringing generations together can help reduce the fear of crime, can help improve the understanding that different generations have of each other, reduce each other's bad expectations and fears of one another, and develop new friendships. And I'm also very delighted indeed to be here with so many community organisations, the Minister for Justice, and a welcome to the new Children's and Young People's Commissioner, Kula Yasuma. A hand for Kula. For those of you I haven't had the pleasure of meeting before, my name's Claire Keatinge. I'm the first ever Commissioner for Older People for Northern Ireland. I was appointed in 2011 after a decision by the Northern Ireland Assembly who unanimously agreed that they needed an independent champion for older people. And the principal and only aim of my role is to safeguard and promote the interests of older people across Northern Ireland and to ensure that older people are at the heart of decisions about things that affect them. As you know, Northern Ireland is an ageing society. There's more and more people living longer and healthier lives than ever before. And in fact, in Northern Ireland, we have the fastest growing older population across the UK, with 366,000 people currently aged over 60, and that will increase by 87% over the next 50 years. Now that is very, very good news indeed. It's the best public health news of the last century. We are a better and richer society because more of us are living longer. And it's vital that Northern Ireland is a good, proper, in fact a great place to grow older. And one way that this can happen is for people of all different ages to understand, respect, value and engage with one another. Because one of the real things that younger people and older people tell me so clearly is that they enjoy having the opportunity to spend time with people of different ages to them. Older people enjoy having time to spend with their grandchildren and often their great-grandchildren that in previous generations they wouldn't have had the opportunity to do. So I was very, very pleased, along with the Children's Commissioner, to produce a joint forward to Linking Generations review of intergenerational approaches back in 2012. And a reminder today in 2015, of course, that today's older people are today's older people and younger people are tomorrow's older people. So bringing generations together does indeed develop mutual respect. It breaks down barriers and negative stereotypes, all of which really do help older people feel safer in their communities. And intergenerational projects are effective at tackling a range of issues, not only community safety, but particularly community safety reduces the fear of crime amongst older people. And younger people, of course, better understand and are better understood by older people as a result of those projects. Now, fear of crime, as you will all know, has been identified at the Pensioners' Parliament every year since it started in existence in Northern Ireland in 2011. It's a significant fear. And as the Minister rightly pointed out, the chances of being a victim of crime for older people are relatively low, but I would still say that every single incident of crime against older people causes terrible fear and distress, both to that individual, to their family and friends, and the wider community. But it also suggests to me that somewhere or another that level of fear of crime suggests that not enough is being done to prevent and prosecute perpetrators of crime. And there is justification for this concern. I carried out an analysis of PSNI statistics and found that when crimes are committed against older people, it is much less likely to result in prosecution than when those similar crimes are committed against people of any other age group. And for that reason, I worked with both the PSNI and the Policing Board to persuade them to put specific targets in place, not just to reduce the fear of crime, but also to improve the clearance rates of crime against older people. It's essential that when people are suspected of committing crimes against older people, they are put before the courts with all of the available evidence, and if they are convicted, the sentencing must take into account the devastating impact that crime can have on older people, and it should act both as a punishment and a deterrent to offenders. It's also important that we see more training for police officers to deal effectively with older victims of crime, with thorough collection of all available intelligence and forensic data. And that again will increase the likelihood of offenders being brought before the courts. And by improving those clearance rates and working across the generations, confidence will be increased amongst older people and the fear of crime will be reduced. It will also send a clear message to offenders and would-be offenders that this society will not tolerate crime against older people and the generations will not be divided in their support for the well-being and health and security of older people. But of course, community safety is not the only issue which can be tackled through intergenerational projects. People who participated in intergenerational projects found that it did lead to a greater understanding and respect of the contributions that were made by older people. And this appreciation of the positive contribution that older people make is vital for changing the way that we see ageing in our society. Because for too long we've heard negative voices which suggest that somehow or another older people and the cost of ageing are a burden on our society. It is not true. Those negative voices are untrue. It is wrong. I've published evidence very clearly in a report called Appreciating Age, which added up all of the costs, the financial cost of ageing, including health and social welfare and social care, and set alongside it and valued for the first time in Northern Ireland the contribution through volunteering in community organisations like yours, through taxes that are paid, through caring and through childcare that older people make. And over the next 50 years, Northern Ireland will be £25 billion better off because more of us are living longer, because we are an ageing society. And I think you will agree that it is important to show that high level of contribution that older people make and challenge that very negative perception that we hear too often in the media. So in conclusion, I would like to thank Linking Generations once again for inviting me here today and commend them for continuing to ensure that there is a structured and formalised way to bring the generations together to tackle the fear of crime, improve community safety, improve understanding and respect between generations. My vision is that Northern Ireland is a great place in which to grow old and a great place in which to age for today's and tomorrow's older people. And as you, the younger people here today, are tomorrow's older people, it is vital that you understand and appreciate and respect older people and look forward to ageing. So thank you to Linking Generations and enjoy every bit of today.